Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So tonight we're going to be making spaghetti. As you can see in this first clip, those were all of my ingredients that we're going to go ahead and use. These are some chopped up onions and bell peppers. My baby came into the kitchen for a second just to help mommy cook. So the first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is ground up our ground beef. And we're just gonna cook this all the way through until you don't see any more pink in the meat. I went ahead and started the sausage in another pan. I sliced them up. You can cook it, you can slice it up however you like. I like mine in little squares because it's easier for my son to eat. So I went ahead and diced those up and have those sauteing in their own pan. While that's going ahead and sauteing, I am seasoning my ground beef with all of the seasonings that I had on the counter. I don't measure any of my seasonings. I just kind of eyeball it, go, based off of taste. I don't like it to be too salty for my son. So that's what I'm doing now. And then I'm just going to mix it all together and finish grounding up the beef. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and add in the onions and the bell peppers to the ground beef and just kind of mix that all together so that they can fuse together and finish sauteing while the meat finishes. And once that's thoroughly grounded and sauteed together, you do want to go ahead, actually before I put in the bell peppers and the onions, I did go ahead and drain all of the grease off of my meat, and then I added in the bell peppers and the onions. So about now the sausage is almost done. I don't cook it all the way in the pan because it's still going to cook whenever you mix it in with the actual ground beef. Now I'm going to go ahead and start my water for my pasta. While my water is heating up, I am going to go ahead and add my Prego spaghetti sauce to my actual meat. Now what I'm doing is I'm adding water to the jar because I don't like my sauce to be too thick. So I like to go ahead and put some water in the jar, get the rest of the sauce out of it, and then kind of just make it's gonna look like a soupy meat sauce, but once the noodles are mixed in with it, it won't be as soupy. And I just kind of let that simmer for a while so that it can fuse together. As you can see, I put a little bit more seasoning in there just to give the sauce some flavor, or more flavor should I say. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead and start to boil my pasta. Now I had a 2-pound box of spaghetti strings and I only used about a quarter of it. Typically if I have 1 pound, I'll only use half of it, and then with my 2-pound I used a quarter. As you can see, I went ahead and just threw some vegetables on the stove, just because I don't like to make a meal without vegetables. And I went ahead and got my garlic bread ready to go into the oven. I put a little bit of seasoning on it because it does give it just a little extra taste. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this in the oven because my spaghetti is almost done. Alrighty, so now that my pasta strings are done, I'm gonna go ahead and drain all of the water off of it. I do not rinse the pasta strings, I just drain the water. I go ahead and return it back to the pot. I put a little bit of butter in it just so that the strings aren't sticking together. And then I will go ahead and mix the strings in with the actual meat sauce. And as I go ahead and mix this all together, you'll see how the sauce kind of fuses with the strings. So then it makes it not as soupy anymore. I don't know. You guys can make it however you like. You may like thick spaghetti. I don't like a thicker texture spaghetti just because, you know, once it does kind of like simmer down and the heat goes away, it does thicken. The sauce thickens automatically. So then if you already make it thick, then by the time, say you have leftovers, it's just going to be dryless spaghetti and it's going to be nasty. So I'm just going to continue mixing this together, but this is pretty much it. Once it's all fused together, that's the finished product. And you have spaghetti. My son and I love spaghetti, so I make this at least once a week or once every 2 weeks. And I usually make it with some type of vegetable and garlic bread, not always, but sometimes. And I will sometimes switch out my sausage from, this is Chapel Hill sausage. Sometimes I'll use Italian sausage. But thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I hope that you come back and I see you in the next one. Bye. Bye. Say bye, baby. Wave. Keelan, say bye. Thank you.
Bye.